It's good, quick crypto family and my Coin Factory family. Welcome back, everybody, once again to our crypto Casper live stream. We have got a wide diverse of sources to get through in today's stream. We got an article courtesy of Vijay, the newly converted Bitcoin maxi, who now is becoming an increasingly Casper maxi now. We also have a video from the European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde, ultimately stating that we are on the cusp of a financial crisis. It's imminent and they're doing everything they can to prevent it, which seemingly is going to be through the use of AI, through stablecoins, through blockchain technology, which we'll talk about a bit more so in a moment. And then we've also got some Casper updates, a post from Capital that kind of highlights that we are imminent now to the launch of the mainnet, alongside some Octo updates, Octospace updates, and equally, I know you won't like it, Cryptony, but also some Zebec updates as well. Some very interesting developments going on in those three projects. Of course, Cap is still my biggest bag. I still talk about it the most, but I am in the process now with the market in the position where it is to just expand a little bit and talk about other speculative projects that could still perform quite well this cycle. Whether you hold it or not is up to you. Do your own research. But that being said, though, family, welcome back once again to the channel. I know it's a bit earlier today, but better earlier than never at all, right? Welcome, Cryptony, first indeed, brother. I hope you're doing very, very well. And Gosu, first smashing the like button. I appreciate you very, very much. Welcome back, my man. When Moon, when Lambo, when New X, when food stamps. Honestly, the question we've all been asking, all been waiting for, we don't know. But I suspect we'll see a lot more momentum in the next month or two, and then explosion mid to end of Q4. Welcome, Nathan. Hope you're doing very well. How long are you going to hold your Kappa bag? It's a great question. The answer is I don't know. And the reason why the answer is that's because I'm an investor who plays reactionary to the markets. So if for whatever reason Kappa decided to just pump from here, let's say the bull cycle ends, bear cycle starts, and Kappa starts pumping in the bear cycle, then why would I sell? I'll take profits. I'll take profits, of course, but selling my entire bag, I don't know if I'll do that. I haven't got a time frame for Casper. I haven't got a time frame or a price target for Casper. I am playing reactionary. What the markets are doing at that moment in time, if they're looking a bit more bearish, then I'll start taking profits and DCAing back in. That may be in the next 2 months. It may be in the next 5 months, depending if it extends to 2026 or not. We have to wait and see. And even then, based on information I provide in this community and equally in more detail to my VIPs, there's increasing speculation now that either we see an extended cycle into 2026 or we see a cycle come to an end, but it won't be a typical 1 year correction bear cycle. It'll be maybe a few months instead, because a lot of big catalysts are taking place in 2026 anyways. But I'll keep you all updated as much as I can do. And if you want to find out again in real time in more detail, check out the VIP as well. Join for free for 7 days or for a month through BYDFI. By the way, BYDFI are actually holding a Kappa trading campaign through my affiliate link. So if you follow the channel to my free Discord server, you can find all the information in there and have a chance to win up to $10,000 in capital, which would be absolutely insane. So go check it out if you're interested. Welcome back, Buffalo 3, bro. You're doing very, very well. And I know, Cryptony, I know you don't like it, but there are some people, while not many, who do still want to hear my opinions on Zebec. So I'm going to talk about it, not too heavily, because it's not something that I know not everyone really cares about, but some people here do value Zebec and do want to hear about Zebec, so I'll talk about it a little bit. Sucks to suck. I plan to take light profits this run and hold for the long term. It's not a bad strategy, Nathan, not at all. Could work out very, very well. 2069, and then I'll pass it on to my children. Yeah, hold for dear life and then give it as generational wealth. That's not a bad strategy at all either. That being said, family, let's get into the content first and foremost. We'll start off with Casper, right? You can see right now Casper's currently up 0.1%, not really moving today. Currently valued at 0.084, 8.4 cents right now. Currently trading at that light, weak support level. I say it's a weak one because the really strong support levels, as you can see, are right now between 9 and 8 cents for Casper. As you can see, Casper continuously tends to trade and rebound off 8 cents and equally gets rejected around 9 cents. So these are stronger supports. These are more weaker supports. Right now, Casper's holding around that weak support at 8.4 cents, and we'll hopefully see it make that move up, depending on potential catalysts and what are happening over the next few days and weeks. Of course, Bitcoin did have that pump above 117k, but didn't close the day above that. after the FOMC meeting and the rate cuts, hence why we saw a correction, and now it's just kind of trading around this zone right now. We need Bitcoin to pass 117k for us to see any more bullish momentum. Ethereum similarly, 4.48k right now, still trading at this low. We want to see it pass 5k or more, so 4.7k for us to see a good sign of a breakout for Ethereum, and therefore for altcoins for Kaspa as well. Now, Bitcoin dominance is also staying relatively low, still about 58% or so. Yeah, so it's still below the trend line, but again, whether it comes up or not down, we don't know for sure yet. Well, I'm hearing some sources, some rumors that apparently institutions want to push Bitcoin dominance up to 70%, which is something that I mentioned months back, that Bitcoin dominance historically does go above 70%, so it's not impossible to see that again, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, the markets are different this time round. We'll play reaction to the markets. And then you look at Octo as well. Octa, which is equally not moving too much today. Currently down 2% right now. Still trading in the zone, because consolidating around here for quite some time right now. Will it do well or not? It's tough to say, because Octa doesn't have many listings. That's Octa's biggest shortcoming. You know, I think the project as a whole isn't too bad. It looks quite interesting, which is why I do occasionally talk about it. But Octa does not have many listings at all. 17 mil markups, a micro cap in all means of the word. It's currently up 200% from its launch. Volume's at 650,000, so it's very small. And again, you've got Gate, Mexi, Uniswap, PancakeSwap. It's just got no listings. Now, Octa is right now trying to leverage Kaspa a bit, which we'll talk about those posts in a moment. But that might be Octa's saving grace to get more price and adoption. Literally hovering around the price that it was closely launched at, around this zone down here. Octa holding this right now is not bad. Hopefully Octa can hold this and then again make that move. If it makes a move from here, I mean, if it returns to all-time highs, for example, you're looking at a potential 5 to 6x from here. So the possibility to at least that much to take away from that. And then you're looking at Zebec as well, currently down 1.54%, still trading within that fib retracement golden pocket there. Which we spoke about time and time again. I drew this out a while back. Can I get my thing working, please? Thank you. And yeah, I still think Zebec again is one that will probably make that run up to 1 cent, 0.1 at some point. But it's a matter of just patience once more. Zebec has got some big announcements we'll get into in this stream as well. But again, later on in the stream, we'll get into that. That being said, first, again, let's get into Kaspa right now. Currently, again, at 8.4 cents. The first update here is from Kaspa, which for me is a last warning, but also a post that kind of indicates that the mainnet launch is very, very close now. Of course, it has to be on the 20th of September. And he said 100% in September we see the mainnet launch. So we've got 10, 11 days now. Last warning, be very careful where you will connect your layer 2 wallets. Use fresh ones, only the amount intended to use. Good luck. Now, very simple and very logical post. Ultimately, those who may want to connect to Kaspa, or frankly any layer 2, you know, if you've got your wallet, like let's say for example my Kaspa wallet that I have that's holding some KYCs and whatnot from Kaspa, if I want to connect it to the layer 2, that would be a risk connecting it that way, because who knows what layer 2 is going to be safe or not. So instead, the better thing to do is create a brand new wallet, send some of the funds that you want to actually use to that new wallet, and then connect that one to the layer 2. Now, I don't take this as a negative post or a FUD post at all from Kaspa. It's simply just looking up for the community, because whereas Kaspa will probably be fine, who knows what dApps, because there have been multiple dApps already that have been building on Kaspa who have done a list of things. Again, Probify, Change Finance, and KDX way back in the day as well. So despite there being many projects seemingly launching on Kaspa, no one knows if any of them have any good intentions at hand or not. All we can see is from their actions, which is why you've got to be very careful and do your own research and be careful in what you do. So last warning, be very careful where you connect your wallet, your layer 2 wallets. Use fresh ones, so create a new wallet, put the capital you want to invest into that new wallet and connect that one. Therefore, they cannot steal your capital from your wallet. This for me saying that right now is also an indication that, you know, we are very, very close to the launch of mainnet for Kaspa. Only works with testnet because there's no dApps on the mainnet yet. Of course, the only config needed was to change the chain ID. They've done that seemingly now. So again, we are extremely close even to the launch of Kaspa. Again, it's not been updated right here just yet, but I'm keeping a close eye on this to see if there is an update here. and the 24-hour countdown will start. In continuation, we got another, again, more building happening for Kaspa right now. Kaspa Finance, KFC, is now live on IGRA's testnet, so IGRA also seemingly going swimmingly. I've not heard too much from IGRA's testnet just yet. I'll be looking more into that over the coming days and weeks and whatnot when we hear more news. Of course, everything goes swimmingly and smoothly and all potential shortcomings are squashed and fixed. We'll hear mainnet. Mainnet launch. We are expecting the IGRA mainnet launch to go live Q4 2025. So that means starting from October to December time, sometime between that period, we should be seeing the launch of IGRA's mainnet. Therefore, competing with Casplex, healthy competition to see the full power of smart contracts on Kaspa. And we're even seeing stuff as well. Kaspa has there's Vivor here who's trying to become the first Kaspa powered streaming platform. So this may be something that I end up bridging to in the future. I imagine I'll always still do YouTube because it's the biggest platform anyways, but you might just see me, if possible, stream on both platforms at the very same time and go from there as well. But you can basically, you got this Kaspa powered streaming platform now as well. So again, more interesting and cool stuff seeing happening right now in the space. So again, all information, by the way, I'll be reposting in my Discord community at some point later, probably through the Kaspa channel, if it's Kaspa related and whatnot. But it's, again, very, very interesting stuff right now. Very interesting indeed. And it's also just a shout out that I've done, which many of the community right now for Kaspa are doing right now. It's just a kind of a reminder right now that we're approaching the 1 year mark with KRI's open letter to Coinbase regarding listing of Kaspa, which did have a beneficial. It did actually work in regards to Coinbase actually talking to Kaspa then, but we've heard nothing pretty much since then. So, now a lot of people, myself included, are now just trying to help bump this back up to the top of the feed for everyone for Kaspa, reminding those that Kaspa is talking to Coinbase in some capacity and will hopefully see the listing in this quarter alongside Crypto.com, HTX, Binance, OKX, and many more hopefully to follow. Time will tell though. Time will tell. And actually KRI, they've got a big thing coming this quarter as well. Gigawatt, Warp Core, ZTEX, all those three should be launching this quarter as well, Q4. So we could see a lot more enterprise and general retail adoption for Kaspa in this quarter, and that would be very bullish for the volume for Kaspa, the demand, the price, and of course making us early investors a lot happier, considering the price has been lackluster for quite some time. But I'm not worried about Kaspa. The reason why, because Kaspa does solve an inherent issue. It's tech that does solve real problems that nothing else in this space can truly solve. There are many solutions coming out, but they're not perfect solutions, quote unquote perfect solutions, right? For example, stuff like Zebec. Zebec right now, I think is a decent project. I think can make some gains this cycle. Do I trust them wholeheartedly? I don't trust anything. That's just how I am as an investor. To protect my own asset, to protect my own ass, I don't have full faith in anything besides myself. Kaspa gives me self-sovereignty, therefore I can trust Kaspa because it is basically me. Zebec is you're trusting a company, crypto company. So, but that goes for every proof of stake project out there in the space anyways. Point being is though, Zebec is one that I think can do well this cycle. I did get into Zebec, full disclosure, around 0.0038. So it was around here. So I'm only slightly up on it right now. I may go down on it at some point, maybe negative, but we'll wait and see. I could have got out at the peak here. It might be smart for me to do that, but I still believe that, again, a 50% gain is not what I was looking for Zebec. I think a little bit more so, and I think Zebec can still make a stronger rally from here in the cycle anyways. Let's do that, please. Thank you. But yes, if you're looking at Zebec right now, I'm going to play this short clip here, which is just from Jay Whitehead, who is the Senior Vice President at Assure, who basically just talking about the very same thing that I've been talking about in these streams for time now, which is just the importance of on-chain transactions of stablecoins, how it's no longer an option, but a necessity for crypto, for companies, TradFi, whatever it may be, companies to adopt stablecoins to utilize crypto so they don't fall behind. So listen very closely to this segment of an interview here with Jay Whitehead, who was on a Zebec AMA.
There are 45 million Americans who own Bitcoin, Ether, Dogecoin, decentralized finance assets right now. 75% of them are under 35 years old. So that cohort really likes to have their Bitcoin mixed with their dollars, if you will. And then $380 billion was sent overseas from paychecks in 2024 to just 5 countries by American workers. what those two types of people who own Bitcoin or Ether or Dogecoin, and people who are sending international remittances, have to pay very large fees to move those currencies in and out of fiat and or other currencies. And what stablecoin will do is it will eliminate the friction, make those payments immediate, and make them almost free. So stablecoin is really important for those two cohorts in particular. And as a result, payroll providers like Assure really need to consider stablecoin a must-have for 2026.
And Assure is just one of many companies seemingly that are saying the very same thing, that stablecoins are a must-have for the future so you don't fall behind. That's why I think, in that regard to Kaspa is, a great protocol, still up and coming, and would be probably the best platform for stablecoins. You saw recently the sort of transactions taking place on Kaspa right now. As I find it real quickly. Where was it? There. Kaspa right now already producing some insanely fast TPS, surpassing many other popular chains, be it Tron, Atom, Cardano, BNB, ORE, and Ethereum, even Ethereum. And Kaspa is, again, it'd be a great platform for stablecoins, being cheap, being almost instantaneous, and decentralized, of course. But in that regard, you've got institutions right now who are trying to partner with other crypto companies, crypto projects to, again, fast track their ability to connect with stablecoins and to, again, the last year it was a $380 billion opportunity in remittances into these payments, cross-border payments. It's going to be even bigger now with everything coming on chain. And that's a big thing for Zebec in regards to the fact that they have now actually partnered with Assure HCM for a stablecoin payroll joint venture. So they're going to be building a stablecoin payroll tool for its 4 million customers across the United States, which is a big deal for Zebec. Now, Zebec, of course, in the payroll industry, that could be that's one reason why I do think Zebec's got a good standing this cycle, because not many projects seemingly are targeting the payroll industry, at least not in the same way Zebec is doing so. Is it going to be great in the future? I don't know. Who knows, right? But I think this cycle has got a good shot, only at a $400 million market cap. I think it has potential to do a lot more from here. And again, if you think about projects and their longevity, I think because we all believe in capital so much as well, maybe Zebec could be one project like Octa, who's aiming to run and build off Kaspa. If projects did that, they might have better longevity and better standing. Of course, there's still a risk with them because of proof of stakes, but still. So Octa Space here, highlighting, the video that Kaspa put out a few days back, the ultimate for money Kaspa, brought to life on a stunning video, fully rendered on the very best render platform, Octa Space. So Octa again, cooking right now with Kaspa as well. I was seeing here, Bees, welcome back, bro. You're doing very, very well, my man. Future crypto millionaires indeed. What's up, Greg, as well? Happy Saturday to you too, my man. And Wyatt, yo to your only Kaspa. Welcome, brother. You're doing very, very well. Jay, you sometimes forget people in here are 95% Kappa Maxis. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm fully aware that people here, majority are Kappa Maxis. I've made my whole foundation, pretty much my whole community based off Kaspa. So I do believe, yes, that I do understand that when I talk about other projects, people don't tend to normally care. But there are some people in here who do hold Zebec, who do like Zebec, because I have had them. And of course, with me expanding in my channel and talking about other crypto projects occasionally, be it Tau, Render, Octa, Zebec, the community will expand, and therefore, if I only talk about Kaspa, it may not be fair to them. I'll talk about it because it's something that I believe in, right? I think it's got a good possibility. And again, I do believe Kaspa is still the strongest project in this space. And again, in the case of, yes, Zebec went on to Kaspa, then yeah, it could be very good. It could be good in that regard. But of course, right now it's hard to trust. And anything's really hard to trust. But yeah, I understand people mainly are Kappa Maxis here. And that's perfectly fine. I have respect for whatever you want to hold. It's just I also talk about other projects occasionally because I think there is a possibility of diversification. I mean, I've said it myself from the beginning. I have diversified my portfolio. I'm most in Kaspa, 80-90% in Kaspa, but I have diversified. Some XRP, some SUI, some Tau, some Zebec, and some other ones as well. Welcome, Beeve. Do you believe Shai is still involved behind the scenes, and is Kaspa better with or without Shai? Great question. I don't think Shai is involved right now. I don't. I think Shai was effectively exiled. for better or for worse. He was exiled. I do believe there's a future where Shai comes back, but it won't be on the same terms that he was originally there for, so it'll be a bit more toxic. But I do think Shai will come back. I personally don't like the fact that Shai's not in anymore, because I think Shai was a critical piece to Casper in regards to research, because his technical expertise is something that most of us cannot really match. You know, us KOLs, be it myself, Kaspa Silver, be it the other fantastic minds who are doing their own due diligence and their own research, their technical understanding of crypto and the inner workings of Casper doesn't comprehend and match Shai's, because he was there from the beginning. So I am not happy so much so that Shai's gone, but what can I do about it? All I could do is just move on. And even then, Shai is still being somewhat involved in the community, again, still spreading a bit of negativity and words of warning regarding Casplex and KEF and whatnot, which again, he can do as he wants to do. He got no ties to Casper in that regard, but I am a bit upset he did leave, but I mean, he had no choice in the matter. I hold Zebec and was able to get in at 0.009. That's fantastic stuff, people. Again, that's also why I talk about other projects here, because there are possibilities for other projects to do very, very well. 0.009, you're looking at a way back down here. So Beaver's already made a fantastic running there for if you've got it down here or so. 0.009 is around here, so you're looking at, yeah, like a very nice 8-9x or so. If you did set at the top, of course, that's hypothetical if you did or not, but either way, you're still up right now from that position, about 4x or so, give or take. So 3-4x, that's still really, really good. Very, very strong indeed. So that's also why I talk about other projects. I think Zebec again is one that has potential to do well this cycle. I think that also meant to be attending a Cybos event at the end of September. I think I'm going to make a video on Zebec. I know those who don't like Zebec, I'm sorry, but I'll make a video on Zebec probably tomorrow as well, talking about it. But yeah, there's some big things coming to Zebec, which I'm happy to hear, of course, because I'm one of the holders. And then Octa again doing some big things as well. Again, seamlessly in a sense working with Casper, or trying to work more so with Casper. That might help its standing and price therefore more so in the future, especially if and hopefully when Casper does rally in value as well. So yeah, just saw this by Octaspace, a reminder, which is the video we just kind of showcased kind of briefly here, which is again just a reminder of why Octa is making moves, platform grow, vision strong, deep in motion. I hope with Casper and Octa in my portfolio. Casper is one of the top layer 1 chains with an amazing community, and the smart contract launching very soon. Futures looking very, very strong, of course. Seeing Octa so close to Casper, I believe Octaspace could be the first project to migrate and build on Casper, and that's ultimately where I stand. I think Octa as a project seems really, really cool, seems really, really good, but it's probably going to struggle due to the lack of listings and its market cap being very, very small. Very, very small. However, I think Octa and its, willingness right now and desire to build on top of Casper may be the leapfrog and leverage it needs to help garner more momentum. I think Octa is a good project, and I think if it can leverage Casper, it could do better. If Casper does do well as well, which we think it will do. We've got some big things coming to Casper. I'll get into this post in a moment about these. Can I change the... I can't change. Sorry if I just flashbanged you. I can't change the brightness of the screen right now. But yeah, I'll get to the moment. Then we got this post here as well from Octa as well. Decentralized AI training officially live on Octa. Starting today, you can run permissionless, multi-participant model parallel pre-training across our compute marketplace. That's also quite a big thing. AI, I think, is a very, very undervalued sector. So Octa also delving into that element could be a big, big thing as well. So I think Octa, again, I don't hold Octa right now, full disclosure. With its price being where it's at right now, I think Octa is a very, very high risk. But at the same time, if it does leverage capital properly, if it gets some listings and whatnot, then I think that Octa is one that can make some gains a cycle. So it's one that I'm keeping an eye on, but I'm not in just yet, because for me, the risk to reward is a bit too high. It's a bit too high for me right now, the risk to reward, but I think Octa could do well later on, given certain catalysts take place. But yeah, I will get into some questions real quickly, and then I'll come back to some other big posts here, fundamental posts, and equally this video from Christine Lagarde, and then this video will cycle into the flashbang of VJ talking about the financial system being broken, Fiat being broken, and Casper being the perfect solution. So in regards to questions right now, I have it here from Adam. Shai still dreams about Casper? Of course he does. He was one of the, he wasn't a core dev, but he was one of the he was part of DAG Labs. He was the researcher. So he is always going to, be connected to Kaspa in some capacity. So yeah, of course he still dreams about Kaspa. I'm sure he does. He still holds Kaspa. I know that much for sure. So I'm always welcome to come back without the drama. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, I agree, but at the same time, like, if his personality, like, what can you do about it? He's just a very opinionated person, and people are like that. Either you choose to take heart to it and let it affect you, or you just ignore it. The FUD from Shai I never let personally affect me. I find it frustrating when him and Johnny were openly bickering. I find it frustrating. But again, it takes two to bicker and argue. Just they can both easily just be quiet, but it's up to them. Again, I don't control them. They do what they want to do, You all dream about Kaspa. 100%. We all definitely dream about Kaspa. I agree, I miss Shai being a part of Kaspa. However, he was very outspoken. He was harness leave. Yeah, and that can be a crutch at times as well. Thoughts on HBAR Hedera? Good question, 13. So Hedera right now currently up 1.72% on the daily time frame. It's currently valued at 24 cents or so. It's currently down about 33% from all-time highs, 40% from all-time highs. Yeah, I think HBAR in a similar sort of boat category to the likes of XRP and Algorand, where they're all kind of like real-world asset projects, all kind of seemingly interconnected to the Swift network and the financial system and whatnot. I think all of them have their levels of risk due to them being proof of stakes and being centralized companies owning the projects, and therefore have the ability just to take liquidity if they want to. But I think HBAR is one that also would probably make the big gains this cycle. If we look at HBAR right now on CMC, we can see HBAR has got a $10 billion market cap, 18 ranking right now. 10.3 billion market cap. Again, it's kind of actually down from its all-time. It's not showing that far back actually, but it's down 50%, 40% all-time highs, or from its initial launch even. But it's got some big listings as well, and it's also very, very strong chance it's going to get ETFs in the next few months. I'm not sure if they'll get it this year, probably in 2026, but it'll be getting some ETFs soon enough, and that'll also garner more institutional adoption into the project as well. So I think HBAR is one that can have some big gains. From this current position, I think it can return to all-time highs, which would be just under a 2x from here. If you got into it down here, that was a very, very nice purchase then. I think HBAR is one that will do well, just due to, again, its stature and partnerships and whatnot. And we'll see where it goes from there, of course. Regarding Zebec or any other crypto wanting to succeed, Kaspa provides the rails. Without Kaspa, these projects are going to be hindered. Very simple math. The winners will be running on Kaspa. And yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I think every project are building their own thing. XRP, Ripple building their XRP ledger, whatnot. Ethereum got the Ethereum chain, the ERC. You got Sui building their Move language as well, like all their chains. Everyone's got their own protocol and chains, but they're all centralized. They all don't take into account human greed. They all had limitations, be it through decentralization or even scalability and security. They all have some limitations right now. Kaspa right now is the only one that has more so untapped limitations, and even then it's still expanding, right? Its limitations right now at 10 bps, so it's effectively, while not exactly but loosely correlated to 3000 TPS. With 100 bps, that's even faster. With Dagnite, it's even more seamless and even more fluctuating, and limitations be gone. And then, of course, it still being decentralized, it would make, I think Octa's got the right idea in bridging and kind of working with Kaspa. And I think projects that follow the similar suit are in for good longevity as well. But businesses and people being greedy, they'll wait and they'll try and suppress Kaspa as long as possible until it is, like Bitcoin was for finance, inevitable to avoid. That's my stance on it. Shai is listed on Kaspa's contributors page under core developers and researchers. That places him directly among the people who still contribute to the core efforts. He is not involved with the KEF, but pretty sure he is still working with Jonathan. I mean, if he is, then he's not. He's been more public now about his frustration with Jonathan Sompolinsky and how Kaspa's being quote unquote run. I mean, if that's how he's perceived on the page, I don't think the people who are in charge, the contributors who are in charge of the page, are very frequent in updating it. I know Shai is definitely a part of the seemingly core team, researcher main so. He knows he's not involved in the KEF anymore. Him and the KEF had bad blood and kind of split ways. I think it was earlier this year. I think he may have still some loose connections, but I don't think him, at least on the surface, at least, he is not seemingly on good ties with Son Polinsky. Definitely not KEF, but not seemingly on good ties with many of the core contributors as well, especially those who have become more so the core members more recently. Like, for example, there's one called Elliot. Will I find his name? If I can even spell Elliot. I can't spell, can I? I can't remember which one it was, but there's a post I saw from Shai where Shai made a post or whatever, and Elliot replied back. No, was it Elliot? No, actually it was from CG. I can find it now. Crypto Galaxy. Here's his post here. Yeah, Elliot here. Where Elliot just said to CG, don't get ahead of yourself, and he said, you're exactly what's wrong with Kaspa. I know Elliot and Shai don't get along either as well, from my knowledge. But I mean, that's because burning of bridges, right? Octa nodes are only running at 0.2%. No one renting. Yeah, that's what I mean. Octa right now as a project is seemingly like the technology and seemingly what it provides is good, but the actual incentive to get involved in the project right now, due to its lack of listing and everything else, the price again, it's not there. But maybe the leverage of Kaspa will help incentivize Octa to grow more as well. They're not talking to each other, Tony. He said it in a few days ago live stream. Yeah, I thought so. My biggest holding is Kaspa, followed by XCN and Zebec. What are your thoughts on XCM? Thanks to all you do in the community. Thank you very much, Mike, for your kind words, and I'll let you know right now. I spoke about XCN once upon a time. After this big pump we saw of XCM, I made a video on it about, was it going to be a diamond or dust? I haven't really made a conclusive answer on it right now. From what I remember from looking into XCM, it was basically a project that had some form of connections to the likes of the team that originally founded Ripple and Stellar. They kind of came together and then created XCM. XCM is a much smaller project, currently valued at 1.2 cents. Had that big pump down here, like over a 10x or so, or even more than that potentially. And it's been chopping since, coming back down. Currently up 1% on the daily time frame. XCN is one that I think is an extremely high risk. Onyx Coin has some connections again to the original team that created Ripple and Stellar. It's down 73% from its initial launch. $43 million market cap, so it's got a slightly bigger market cap than the likes of Zebec right now. It has got some good listings, like it has Coinbase that I know the likes of Zebec does not have and Kaspa does not have right now. So the listings might help it out, but it's tough to say right now for this asset as it is just extremely small. And I haven't heard as much talking about XTN as of recent. I know they had their big Goliath main testnet thing that came out, that apparently the mainnet's not going to be released until Q1 2026. So if that's the case, it might end up missing the cycle. Because again, when you're such a small asset, it's hard for you to really get the momentum you need. So it depends really when you got in. If you got in up here, then could XEM return to this level here? Probably. If you got in around here, maybe it could negative 3x to return to its level up here. But it has been, on a very quiet downtrend kind of for quite some time right now. So it's tough to say. I'm not as bullish on XCN personally as I would say for likes of Zebec. But again, I'm not as in tune with XCN. There are other contributors who know more. So I'll keep an eye out. If I hear anything else interesting, I'll let you know, Mike. But right now, XCN is not on my radar, personally. Shai isn't even talking to the core team. No, not right now. He's not talking to any of them, to my knowledge. If one of the three projects could do a Fiat on today, Sol, Sui, AVAX, I'd have to say AVAX. I didn't include Kaspa because it's going higher. Oh yeah, I agree, Beebs. And I mean, in this current position right now, Solana's quite near an all-time high anyways. Sui's at $3.65. A 3x from here, putting it just above $10, I don't think is unreasonable for Sui. But then if you look at AVAX right now, sitting at currently, okay, let's do it at price instead of market cap. Let's do that. AVAX coming at $33. All-time highs up here to 143. So yeah, if AVAX will return to all-time highs, which I think for the most part, most of the, especially the big caps, return to all-time highs is like very easily achievable for most of them. A 3x from here, it could make more than that. So AVAX, I say, is probably the more stronger bet for a 3x from here. It'll get ETF finance as well, I'm sure, so that will help it out. But I have to wait and see. Shai is awesome these days. I have a deeper appreciation of people who speak their mind without fear of offending others. I'll take honesty over offense. He could be a bit more polished though. Yeah, that's pretty much my stance on it as well. I do agree that Shai's got a sharp tongue, and I just get him in trouble. But at the same time, like, the honest nature of someone can be... honesty is something that I hold in a very, very high regard for my own personal morals. I try to be very, very honest when I make mistakes. I also will address them. I have done it in this community multiple times. I made mistakes about certain things, calls I've made, and I've apologized for them. Honesty is a very, very important trait I think everyone should have. I don't think lying is something anyone really should do. And I don't think Shai is one that he seems to be a liar. I think he's too expressive and wears heart on his sleeve, which can be good but also bad. So, but again, openness I think is good. And that's kind of also what Casper meant to be, open, right? Do you have any Tau in subnets? I just have mine in roots. No, I don't. I don't do any of that sort of stuff for Tau. I just hold the project, really. I don't care what Mr. Mars says. You are a good guy. Please keep him locked up. Will do, Adam. I will do. I'm sure if he watches on playback, he will be very upset to hear that. Be careful you don't get banned. That's what he said in the Bitcoin podcast a few days ago. Yeah, I didn't listen to the podcast. I know it's a very, very long podcast, but yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that at all. Especially after the way he fell out of the project and hearing that, you know, him and his wife got married, and apparently he had no congratulation messages from any of the people like Michael Sutton or Son Polinsky either, which, again, despite bad blood or whatever, that's quite crazy. They've been together, they've been working together and seemingly mates for a long, long time, and they didn't even get a congrats on your wedding message. Even I did that. That's not trying to throw any shade or whatever at Son Polinsky or Sutton. It's just, again, I understand there being some bad blood because of that. Someone could buy my AVAX. There you go. If it wasn't for Shai, Casplex might have rushed this release and possibly caused serious FUD. Yeah, again, I think that also may be a possibility. Shai was facing some serious concerns ahead of the mainnet launch, and as soon as he did that, they then delayed the launch. Maybe Shai was raising enough flags to make the Casplex team realize that actually this launch, if not addressed properly, could end up making Shai, you know, true, make Shai's word come true, and that would be, you know, bad for them. Because then, if Shai is right about the Casplex launch, people will perceive that everything that Shai said about Casplex and the KF is completely right. I don't necessarily think it is. I don't know. I haven't got all the information at hand. But if Shai says Casplex launch is going to be dangerous, and the launch ended up being dangerous, then everything that Shai said beforehand about the KF has more credibility because Shai was right. So potentially his warning was also for the benefit of Kaspa and also for the benefit of the Casplex. I mean, Shai was saying as well that he's being abruptive and, you know, raising concerns for the KF and for the Casplex team because he recognizes concerns about it. He said the same thing about if IGRA's doing the same thing, I'd raise it for IGRA, but IGRA right now are not. But he said if they do, then I'd raise about it. So again, you listen to Shai if you want to. It's completely up to you. A lot of people don't like Shai, and that's perfectly fine. I choose to trust him. And that's also why my stance on Casplex is I'm looking forward to their mainnet launch, very much so. Seemingly coming closer and closer now is fantastic. But I'm going to just play, you know, patient, watching the sun and see how it functions. If everything goes smoothly, everything goes good, then I'll participate. Until then, I'll just wait. I don't mind. I've got time. I've been in Casper for a long time now. I can wait a little bit longer. We need to get Shai back then. I'm sure Shai will come back in the future, especially if it comes down to quantum cryptography, because that's his PhD. He got a PhD in quantum cryptography, which is quantum resistance, therefore, in a semblance. So I think Shai will provide a lot of assistance then, but it won't be in the case of him just doing it out of his own goodwill. He'll probably want to be paid, you know, which is fair enough. You know, you've got Hans Mugen now, who's being paid by the KEF. So, women are like vacuums, they will suck all the life from you. Crazy statement, but fair. I don't buy vacuum for that. Also crazy. Okay, we've kind of switched from crypto to that stuff. Okay, let's get back on track, please. There's a better gatekeeper than Shai. I think Shai, yeah, he's a very intellectual mind. That being said, fam, let's get into a bit more of the sources now before we get more off topic. So we have seen, as I showcased yesterday, we have been seeing some very, very bullish positive developments regarding regulatory stuff in the stream, in the United States, with the Senate Democrats wanting to work actively work together with Republican colleagues to move forward quickly on bipartisan crypto market structure legislations, which is a very, very good thing all in all. Very good thing indeed. And of course, the passing of this would be fantastic in regards to getting more clarity, more institutional adoption into crypto and whatnot as well, and then seeing more investments. Right, so I lost train of thought a little bit right there. But yes, this is a very, very big deal that both Dems and Republicans seemingly want to work in a very bipartisan matter to push forward this bill. We already had a very bipartisan vote of this bill when it was passed through the House. We're going past the House where it passed by 294 to 134, which again is great stuff. So with that also being said, it looks like Senate Banking Chair Tim Scott is pushing hard for finalization by September 30th, which is also, pretty good. That would only be 10 days from now. I'm a bit optimistic. No, I'm a bit skeptical that we'll see it that soon, but I'd love to be proven wrong. But it would be a very, very big thing. Either way, we are seeing the timeline here revealed in regards to this sort of regulatory push, and we should therefore be seeing the full market structure bill reaching Trump's desk before Thanksgiving, and therefore being another big pump for crypto adoption, for institutional adoption to crypto as well. Which is a good thing because we need it right now, and institutions know we need it right now as well, considering the financial catastrophe we're currently about to undergo, or we are undergoing, which Christina Lagarde talks about in this 2-minute, well, it's actually, I think it was a total like a 9-minute clip or 9-minute presentation, if you will. But in this 2-minute clip of it, she talks about how the global financial system has been in constant transformation, but also there's a kind of a crisis ongoing, similar magnitude to 2008, but based on technological advances made by not by banks, by non-banks, by financial institutions more so, which I'm going to address that part in a moment. We are going to hopefully and likely prevent and navigate away from this incoming looming catastrophe. Listen very closely here to Christine Lagarde.
The next financial crisis. And the question mark is intended to express that we're not trying to trigger, to provoke, but to actually do everything we can to anticipate, prevent, and examine what the circumstances are that would actually trigger such a crisis. And I think we must keep 2 points in mind when thinking about the topic. First, throughout the post-war era, the global financial system has been in constant transformation, and the pace has only accelerated with advances in technology. And second, what appears new often simply reflects old risks, except with a different costume and in a different form. And here I'm reminded of Professor Carmen Reina and Kenneth Rogoff's and their history of financial crisis. This time is different. The book's subtitle, tellingly, is, not it's different, it says 8 centuries of financial folly. After 8 centuries of experience, I think it's fair to say that this time it is never different. And that is why research plays such an important role in helping to safeguard financial stability. Through rigorous analysis and a solid understanding of the past, research helps us see how innovation advances and reshapes the economy, while also bringing potential risk into sharper focus so that policymakers can address them proactively and hopefully anticipate them and prevent them. Research is particularly vital in helping us to understand the implications of the profound transformations that have reshaped the financial system since the global financial crisis, which is a relatively short span of time if you look at the 8 centuries on the one hand and, the 15 years or so on the other hand. And one of the major structural shifts in the financial system over those past 2 decades has been the growing footprint, not so much of banks, but of non-banks financial institutions.
So yeah, for me, the main part that I wanted to pick out there is again the talk about how it's not really been that long since our last financial crisis. COVID was a catastrophe, but not on the same level as the 2008 financial crisis. In fact, that's when Bitcoin was created, alongside the founding, seemingly, of Ripple's company, amongst some other things as well. But 2008 was terrible. I'm sure most of us here will remember that. It was a very, very big catastrophe that struck a lot of people hard. I know that my family had trouble around that time in regards to housing as well. Almost homeless as well. Many people were almost homeless and not made homeless. And the current situation we're going into right now seems to be on a similar sort of magnitude, if not even worse. That's currently where we're at. But thanks to the advancement in technology, especially in regards to AI, or more so crypto and blockchain, there seems to be the means to prevent it. Now, she said at the end there that not because of non-banks, but more so due to not due to banks more so, but more so due to non-banks, due to financial institutions, that we are going to, see the rallying of those, the growth of those has been being good, and effectively she's indirectly saying that these FIs will help avoid this crisis. Now that's where I don't completely agree. Why? Because while financial institutions have done fantastic, and they have definitely helped a lot in regards to their growth, and therefore to hopefully avoid this catastrophe, is not financial institutions per se, but the technology created. The reason why I say that, because Kaspa, of course, as we believe in, is not an institution. It's a community project. But the technology created by Kaspa is second to none. The technology created by XRP, by Bitcoin, by Ethereum, all technologies have been unique advancements in their own categories. So the technology created by the individuals have been great. Of course, Kaspa is the next coming of that. The institutions are kind of just an additive part that have kind of taken ownership of it. But be that as it may, we are going towards a next shift. And I do think crypto, blockchain, and AI, and this is information, by the way, that's an interview from Christine Lagarde. What she said, we have in my community literally hundreds of documents that support the very same thing. FIs, institutions, alpha information, all supporting the fact that crypto is going to be transformative, is going to change the space, next revolution, all the sort of the big keywords, trigger words, the inflection point, all the stuff they're talking about, and also, in a sense, what they're looking at as well. So if you want to find out more, level up your investment game in particular, because you can level up and understand more about the space, and check out the VIP. Join for free for 7 days, or equally join for free for a month. Should just sign up to BYDFI, no KYC, no VPN regulated exchange, who's currently got a $10,000 capital trading campaign, which would be insane if you could somehow win that. Again, through my affiliate links in my free Discord server, you can find all the stuff out there. Links down below, and also on my homepage as well. But this is a very, very interesting time, and I've been fully aware of this for quite some time. And I do think that Kaspa, again, is not in the immediate future, but in the future to be, will be a solution that we will need. The financial collapse is close, and crypto will take over, and that's when, flashbang warning, family, flashbang warning, white screen incoming. We got this post here from VJ. Fiat system is a scam, and this is a post that I generally agree with as well. Before we dive into why, it's important to understand why the fiat system is and how it works. Fiat comes from the Latin verb feri, which means to be done. In English, fiat is used to describe an authoritative order, implying that the command will be carried out simply because it was issued. When speaking about fiat currencies, it basically means it's money because I, the government, said so. I mean, think about it. Dollars, pounds, whatever it may be, euros, printed out of thin air because they can, because they want to. Fiat isn't backed by anything other than the fact that governments are forcing you to use it. They say it's backed by gold, they change it to petrodollar. Not backed by anything. And right now, pretty much every currency is seemingly denominated in the dollar now. This creates many problems in the world, hindering human progresses. To illustrate, let's talk about how fiat works. Also, we'll just lose all the time due to human greed. What he talks about here is put down in a lot better information, a lot more structured format by Plan K in his Endgame series. That, again, shout out to Cryptoni for posting this in the Discord community. You can find out all that stuff there as well. Yeah, literally all information. So you go to the Discord community, you go into the Kaspa channel, and go on the pinned comments. In there, you'll be able to see everything about those videos, and I highly recommend watching them because it'll make you even more bullish on Kaspa as well, and understand more so how the financial system actually works. But here from VJ, governments spend more than they collect in tax revenue. They operate at a deficit. How do they run this deficit? They just borrow. They borrow issuing bonds. That's how it all works. Bonds are debt. They need to be paid back in the future. In essence, every time the government issues bonds or borrows money, it is stealing from future generations to pay for expenses today. And that's what the debt clock right now, the total debt is ridiculously high at $37.5 trillion. Trillion. It's ridiculous how bad it is right now. there isn't enough tax revenue to ever pay off this debt, and it's political suicide to try and raise taxes. The only solution is to issue more debt to pay off the old debt. In other words, the only solution is to print more money to inflate the debt away and just keep going and going and going and going and going. Money printing, you talk about how it works here as well. And these banks buy these government bonds to sell them to the Federal Reserve for profit. It goes back and forth as well. The Fed is simply updates a ledger of the bank reserve account, indicating an increase in balance. It's like the Fed printing money out of thin air to buy these bonds, like pure magic. More to hear about as well. Lessons is you don't say fiat currency. If ultimately those who, if you were, in your 60s, 70s, whatever it may be, back, more just older generation, if you will, the boomers, as people would probably call you nowadays, and you just held everything in a bank, you would have lost so much money due to deflation. You would have lost so much. If you put it into an investment, into a 401k account, whatever it may be, or better still into stocks at the time, or even now more so crypto, the potential gains you would have made would have been insane. You're making your money work for you. Banks don't hold money in their banks. They invest it. Make the money work for you. You're losing purchasing power by just keeping it in the bank. That's why most people, myself, I have some money in real life. Of course, I have it for my bills, what I do for daily life, but most of my money now is money that I can afford to lose. So it's not money that, if it goes, God forbid, all my crypto money goes, touch wood, like it would hurt, but I wouldn't be in a crisis because I have money that functions in real life. But my excess capital, I put it into crypto because I make my money work for me. The banking system, and it talks about it here, how it also works as well. And again, I'll link this information. I think this article will be linked by Tony in the Discord server as well, so you can find it there as well. But here's a solution, right? Fortunately, there's a solution. The solution is escaping the fiat standard and adopting a sound money standard. Imagine perfect money that cannot be created out of thin air. Imagine perfect money that no single entity controls. Not proof of stake, therefore. Proof of stakes, XRP, Ripple controls it. Zebec, Sui, both have companies behind that control it, and equally, therefore, they can print stuff out of thin air. They can print more tokens if they want to. Imagine being rewarded instead of being punished for saving in this perfect money. Imagine not being forced to gamble in the stock market or become a landlord simply to avoid losing purchasing power. This perfect money exists, however, it's in the early stages. Perfect money is Kaspa. That is currently where we're at right now. So the idea of us investing into Kaspa, why we want to make gains this cycle, and I still think we will make it into cycle for full disclosure, is also to retire our bloodlines and just to actually understand the importance of knowing what it is you hold. What we're holding is perceived as the perfect money because it's actually possible, is quick enough, scalable enough to be a mean of exchange while still being secure and decentralized, has no centralized entity controlling it, can't be printed out of thin air, because if they tried to, if somebody got control of 51% of the purchasing power and tried to, the community would just not want it. If someone tried to, even, you have to get 51% to agree to change that and have a hard fork. We wouldn't want that. It wouldn't happen. So it wouldn't happen. So Kaspa, therefore, is, as much as it is for me, still a strong play this cycle, a great play this cycle, it's still a long-term play. Bitcoin took years to get to where it's at right now. And now we're at where we're at with Bitcoin. Kaspa is in a even more transformative stage in life with the financial crisis upon it. So and with such high emission schedules as well, its rise up will be even quicker. And yes, Buffling's right. If you enjoy the streams, 31 likes, absolutely fantastic family. I appreciate it. You can get even more. If you love the streams, leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. I'm so smooth with it. You know I am. I try to be. And yeah, definitely hit that like button as well. Jay, what is the Lagarde news? The Lagarde news is this here. Did I mispronounce it? Or is that actually how I thought it was Christine Lagarde? She's basically just raising concerns about how they're trying to prevent the next financial catastrophe that is looming right now. Adam, really? If there was a crowdfunding to eliminate her, I'll be the top donor. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like her. I don't particularly like her either, but she is the same way how I don't trust I don't trust any politicians, actually. Before disclosure, I don't trust anyone. Right now, in the situation we're at in this world, is no longer a case of one party versus another party. It's rich elites versus everybody else. Be it Nigel Farage, be it, back in the day, David Cameron, be it Rishi Sunak, be it in the US now, Trump, Barack Obama. I don't trust any of them. because it's pretty much now at this point elites versus everybody else. They've not given me a reason to trust any of them. And Christina Lagarde's in a similar boat. Not a lot of people like her, but she's someone who's got a lot of political influence and power, so what she says does hold weight. I don't trust them, but I still listen to them because what they say will affect my life. What they do will affect my life, so I have to listen to them. I've got to like them, but I have to listen to them. Welcome, Cash Ching, bro. You're doing very, very well. In 10 years, Cash will be known as famous. Will be as famous known as Bitcoin is today. Let them melt in. Oh yeah, 10 years from now, Kaspa will probably, be more famous than Bitcoin. It's crazy. Yeah, that's again, we're planning for the future of Kaspa. That's what it is. Have you streamed on the new Kaspa streaming platform yet, Vivor? No, I did mention about that today, about the updates to it, and I'll probably get involved at some point in the cycle. I'm not sure exactly when. I'll probably do a joint stream of Vivor alongside YouTube as well, so you can see it on both. But I mean, yeah, that sort of stuff is really, really cool. So stuff being bought on Kaspa right now, I'm very excited about it. Very excited indeed. Welcome up to Cherv, number 1 resin, indeed. Are we rich yet? How come no voice channel in Discord? Welcome, Next Level Cash. There is a voice channel in the Discord. At least there's there's a voice channel in the Discord, but I have hidden it because I haven't got any intended use for it. The only voice channel I have right now that I do use is the one in my VIP when I do my executive roundtables every single Sunday. So tomorrow I'll be doing another roundtable with those lot, and in that point, then we all meet up around the same time. I'll record it as well, but we all just talk in there. Well, mainly I just talk and people can ask questions there as well. If the need for voice channel is one that community requests, then I might do it in the future. Although I do plan to do a reorganization tomorrow of the server as well to remove some channels that are just kind of sitting there not doing anything. But voice channel might be something I'll do in the future. But until then, I'm currently not. I haven't got any idea to do it right now, but that might change in the future. I'm completely open-minded to it. Number 1 resident, I love Kaspa. Is sovereign money. Say bye to the banks and head to Kaspa. Indeed, 100%. That's incorrect. We still have a chance to pay off the debt, but we need to let Doge do its job. That the official government agency with a real-allocated budget, thanks to Big Review Bill, you're going to have to give it some time. I mean, hopefully we'll see it. We'll see where it goes from here. Still very early doors though. And welcome back, Quarter Caller Bro. Hope you're doing very, very well today. And have a great weekend so far. That being said though, family, that will actually conclude today's Kaspa Crypto Live Stream. A little bit early, I know, by about 5 minutes or so, but that does conclude all the content for today. Some Zebec updates, some Octa updates, and some big Kaspa updates as well. Potentially, again, edging ever closer to the mainnet launch for Casplex. And equally, the big regulatory developments happening right now in this space, looking very, very good indeed. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. Want to be more in tune to crypto and Kaspa, level up your trading game, or just in understanding of the space, come join the free community, and then even more locked in the VIP as well. All links in my homepage, also down in the description. Have a great day, good evening, good night, family.